Hi, my name is Niki Lane. I am the owner of SEVA Yoga, and it is my great privilege and honor to be able to guide you in a practice today that will focus on strength, mobility, balance, and an overall well-being. So let me first say that I am so thankful to be able to take part in this great cause, having had a family member diagnosed and battling with Parkinson's. It is near and dear to my heart to be able to come here and take you through a flow that I believe will be accessible to you and help you throughout your day. So as you know, with yoga, a lot of what we do is based on being mobile and gaining strength. And a lot of that starts with our core. And one of the things that I like to tell all of my students is we're going to sit up nice and tall whenever we start our practice. For today's purposes, I'm sitting in this chair. You could do this practice on the floor if that's accessible to you. You could also do this practice close to a wall or on the wall. So wherever you are in your practice, or maybe you're just beginning, so you're not sure, you can always start with the chair, move to the floor or the wall, whatever's accessible to you. It's very important that when we practice with not only purpose, why did we show up to the mat, but also with compassion, knowing our limits and knowing how to build boundaries for ourselves. So while we're trying to make the body well and whole, we also need to protect the body and not go beyond the limits of the body. And that's individual for every person. And quite frankly, sometimes it's individual from day to day. So what I might be able to do today, I may not be able to do on another day. So again, I encourage you to practice with both purpose and compassion. So a lot of what we do in yoga is centered around our breath, and it's super important to be able to connect with the breath. All breathing is good breathing, but there are some breathing practices that help us bring structure to the breath, which gives us the ability to move better, and it also stills the mind and calms and quiets our nervous system. So beginning wherever you are, but if you're in a chair today, just come to about middle ways of the chair and place the feet firmly on the ground. Now you don't have to have a mat, but if you have a mat, you could place the chair on the mat just to give you a little bit more grip. And I encourage you to practice with no socks on so that you can grip your feet and feel with your toes. And I'm sitting about midway the chair and finding a nice tall spine. And if you need some help with balance, again, you could go close to a wall so that you could always put a hand out. Or if you have someone who helps you with balance, just have them alongside. So we want to sit up nice and tall, beginning with our sit bones, the bony structure on the bottom of our seat. Feel that pressing into the chair. And from there, pull your belly back toward your spine, engaging those core muscles. A lot of our strength and our balance comes from using the core muscles. And so we want to make sure that those are engaged no matter what we're doing. And then we lift the chest tall. And the way that we do that is bring the heart forward and up. And then take your shoulders and draw them towards each other and pull them down away from the ears, and then find a tuck in the chin. So the place between the collarbones and the chin is about the size of a softball. And I always like to tell my students, think about holding that softball there. And then press your feet firmly into the mat or the ground, whatever you're on, and just have your hands resting comfortably on your thighs. And so the legs are a bit active. You feel the sit bones grounding, that core lifting. This is an active pose. A lot of things are going on here. And so just know what this feels like, because we'll come back to this pose over and over throughout this practice. And from here, we're going to begin our practice of pranayama, breath control. And breath, again, is so important to everything that we do. We're going to do box breathing today. It's a nice, even breath. It helps us control the breath. And I want you to envision a box in front of the body going from the left shoulder to the right shoulder, and then down to the right hip bone, over to the left hip bone, and then back up to the shoulder. And we're going to start at the left and breathe. And we're going to breathe around that box. And so I just want you to use that visual to help you. The hands can be any way you like. They can rest on the thighs, If you'd like to use a mudra, you could use that as well. Gyan mudra, the index finger and thumbs come together and the other 3 fingers extend, and you could just place the back of the hands. This mudra is used for clarity, wisdom, focus, but again, you could simply just turn the hands down or up. Often I let what it is that I need that day guide. If I need to feel grounded, maybe I'm putting my hands down. If I want to receive and be open, I leave the palms up. So again, it's very individual. So find your hands however you'd like them, keeping that nice tall spine, but relax the rest of the body, even the face. And if you can, while we're breathing, keep the eyes closed. But if you need to keep them open for balance, maybe just find a focal point or soften the gaze so that you're not focusing on anything too intently. And let's begin breathing with that box. And you can watch the screen as well. So beginning thinking about the left shoulder, we're going to breathe all the way across to the right shoulder. We'll use a count of 4. And when you breathe, breathe through the nose and pull the air toward the belly so that you feel the belly get big. And then when you breathe out through the nose and feel the belly go back toward the spine. So let's begin with our box breathing. Inhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's the end of our box, and we just keep going. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going, counting in your mind, following your own box. So nice. Keep breathing. One more time around. Let the breath be easy, slow, smooth, and steady. Bring all of your awareness to the breath, focusing on the breath going in and out. And there's no rush. But the next time you find your exhale at the left corner and the top of the box, so the left shoulder, just let go of the image of the box, let go of controlling the breath, and let the breath return to its own natural rhythm, opening the eyes, bringing the hands to your heart center, allow the thumbs to touch the chest. And I like for you to set an intention here. This is very personal, a statement you can come back to throughout the practice. Often we become tired, sometimes frustrated, or even we just find our mind wandering. So having a sankalpa, an intention, is super important for your practice. So often it's I am healing, I am working towards progress, I am just being aware, or I am present. Anything that's easy for you to come back to that will help you refocus your practice. Set that intention now. And I invite you to join me in an Om as we open the practice. We chant Om to stimulate the pineal and pituitary gland within the brain, and also to let us remember that even though we have an individual practice, we're part of a great group of people who practice all over the world. Inhale. And open the eyes, release the hands back to the legs. So sitting in your chair, finding again that you're halfway center the chair, the feet firmly pressing. I'd like for you to spread your toes wide and press them down into the mat and your heels. And just take a look at your legs. I would like for you to put your knees over the heels. So if I turn in my chair, the posture you can see, everything's in line. So everything's nice and tall. My shoulders are in line with my hip is in line with my knee is in line with my ankle. So this is the way that we want to have our posture when we begin our sequences. And again, practice in a place that's good for you. So let's begin with some stretching, and we'll connect the breath and the movement. So just drop your arms to the side and let your palms face forward. We're going to go first to mountain pose. So the feet press firmly. As you press your feet, you'll feel your seat go back. And to lift the chest, draw the shoulders away, palms facing forward, energy moving from the shoulders and heart all the way to the fingertips, keeping that chin tucked just a bit so the crown of the head reaches. The core is pulling back, so the entire body is working here. Breathing in through the nose and out. If you're stuffy, breathe through the mouth, but keep pressing the fingers out and spread them wide, pushing the sit bones into the chair and pressing the feet firmly into the mat. Inhale, reach up as if you're holding a block in between the hands. And then let's begin to work over into the side body. So inhale, lifting tall. Exhale, take the arms and the side body over to the left just a bit. You should feel a nice stretch on the side of the body here, and only go to what is comfortable for you. You certainly don't want to tip out of your chair. Keep the sit bone grounded. We're just feeling that stretch. And now roll the shoulder back, and if you can, gaze underneath the arm. And inhale to center. Exhale, go to the other side. Keep the body nice and tall. We're just shifting here from the top of the body, stretching from the hip all the way to the elbow. Roll the shoulder back so the breast is straight out. Breathing here. Inhale, back to center. Bring the palms together. Exhale the arms down to the breastbone and breathe. Let's take a forward fold. As you fold forward, I'd like for you to think about hinging from your hips instead of your waist. And rather than letting the head lead so that you round the spine, think about the chest moving forward. So again, here, you could even place your hands right in the hip crease to help you remember. Keep the shoulders nice and low from the ears. Clarify through the collarbones. Inhale to lift the chest. Press the feet down. You'll feel your seat move back. And begin to send the chest forward as if you were trying to reach it over the knees, and you'll feel the hips moving in the joint, and then go as far as you can, coming into a forward fold. If you can connect the chest and thighs, that's great. And then once you're there, you can release the hands down, use just the fingertips on the floor. You could place the hands behind the ankles, or if the hands reach flat to the floor, that's an option. You could also just keep them up at the hips. Keep reaching the chest forward and up, and then notice your legs. Don't allow them to go out. Keep the knee right over the ankle. Let the head be reaching forward so that the neck is long. You should feel a nice stretch in the glutes, the low back, and your breathing. Keep pressing the feet, and then inhale, make your way up, slowly and carefully, bringing the hands to the knees. We're going to go through cow and cat. I'm going to turn in my chair just so that you can see what the motion looks like from a side view. So we're going to do cat and cow. With cow pose, we're going to let the chest lead, the gaze go up, and arch the back so that there's a back bend. And then for cat pose, we're going to round the back. So we're going to move the spine in flexion and extension. So nice and tall here. Pressing the feet again, checking your alignment. See again that the alignment is there, the shoulders over the hip and knee, and then the ankle. And let's begin by grabbing the knees or pressing the hands into the knees, and then take the chest forward. The belly will move with it, and take the gaze up, creating a nice back bend and a big stretch on the front of the body. So from the pelvis all the way up to the chin. Breathe here. The shoulders are drawing away. Tuck the elbows toward the body. And as you exhale, press the hands into the knees and begin to tuck the chin and round the back, bringing the chest and pelvis towards each other for cat pose. And inhale for cow. Reverse the motion. And exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. And then come back to a neutral spine. And here we're going to stand up from our chair. So you could do this a couple of ways. You could simply use the seat of the chair if that's okay with you, or you could turn the chair and use the back. We're going to take a halfway forward fold. So step out from your chair about a foot's distance, and then find the feet 2 fists apart. If you need to check the distance, you can, but you're just lining up the ankles, knees, and the joint of the hip. And place the hands on the hip, and we're going to go forward towards our chair for a forward half lift. So lift the chest, exhale, begin to go forward. Again, you can go all the way down to the chair here, using the chair for balance, placing the forearms, getting a nice lift here. If you have the chair turned the other way, it's just going to reduce the amount of lift that you're taking, or amount of fold that you're taking, and you're simply just going to come here. So whatever is most appropriate for you, that's what you want to do. When you're in your halfway lift, what we're looking for is a nice long spine, the hips over the ankles and the core pulling up and the head reaching. A little stretch in the hamstrings, a little stretch in the low back. Breathing here in through the nose and out. And then inhale, make your way up slowly and carefully. And then we're going to work with tree pose. So you can turn your chair, or you could just walk around it. For the purposes of the camera, I'm simply moving the chair around. But in your own home or in your office space, wherever you are, it might be easier just to walk around the chair and get to where you need. So we're going to do tree pose, Vrikasana. This is a little bit of balance work. Remember I said at the beginning that the balance begins with the core. So pulling the stomach in, engaging those core muscles, lifting the kneecaps will engage your quads, and press your feet firmly, even the toes, into the mat. Lifting the chest, drawing the shoulders away, keeping one hand on the chair for balance, bring your other hand to the hip. And you can do either side. I'm going to start balancing on my left leg. So again, use the chair if you need to. You could also reach out and touch a wall. So begin by getting the weight into the left foot and just kickstand the right foot up against. And find a focal point, something that's not moving, and just see where your balance is. One side is probably better than the other, and if that's the case, when you get to that side, you make a proper adjustment so that you're using the chair to assist you in any way that you need. And remember, keep engaging the core. So this is not an inactive pose. I'm squeezing my hand on my hip in the chair. I'm engaging my quads by lifting my kneecaps. I'm pressing my foot. I'm lifting my chest, tucking my chin, and pulling my core back. So it looks like I'm just standing here looking cute. We're really working hard. All right, now go ahead. If you like, you could go to the calf. Press it firmly into the calf. See how that works. And it's okay to go back and forth or to touch down. And eventually, maybe you could come up to the thigh. See how that works for you. The work is the same in either place. So you go to where the work is being done. Don't worry about how fancy it looks. Just find the work and let yourself stay there and breathe. And then we're simply going to switch to the other side. Again, I'm going to move the chair here and place your hand on the chair. Bring your feet together. Build that nice strong plumb line. Again, pressing the feet, engaging the quads. The core is pulling back. The chest is lifting. Squeezing my hand on the chair and on my hip. Letting the weight come now onto the right foot. Kickstanding the left foot. Breathing here. Keep that nice tall spine. Find your focal point. The shoulders are reaching back and down. And after a few breaths, if you'd like to go up, see how that works. The sides could be very different, as I said. What we can do on one side, we may not do as well on the other side. You just notice it, don't judge it, and you keep working on that side. Pressing the big toe into the mat or the floor will help with balance. And then exhale, release that. Give your body a little shake. And we're going to come back to the chair. So you'll just find a nice tall seat in the chair. Again, sitting about halfway, and we're going to do some twists here. So you'll notice that in this practice, we're not doing a ton of fancy things. We're simply trying to build strength in the core, work and challenge our balance, and also move the spine in all directions. So that's what's really important. If you find a practice that you can do, those are the things you're looking for. Move the spine in all directions. Engage the core so that you're working on that strength that is so important with our balance, and then move all of the joints. Those are the things we want to do in every practice. So go ahead, find that nice tall seat again, press the hip bones down, lift the chest, tuck the core, and let's go ahead and begin with a twist. So take your right hand, place it on your left knee. Take your left hand, put it on the back of the chair or wherever you can reach. Inhale, lift the chest and look to the side. And when you twist, don't use the front hand to push. Just turn the chest around as far as you can, and then use the front hand to hold the space you created. And then inhale, lift the chest, and maybe you could go a bit further. You could reposition the arm. How your chair shape is going to depend. I'm just reaching through and grabbing a little bit towards the back. Inhale to lift, and then I'm turning my shoulder, but I'm using the front arm to hold the space. So I'm working with my hands, my core, lifting tall all the way through the crown and breathing. My feet are pressing firmly. Inhale, come back to center and pause in that neutral spine for a moment. And then we'll go to the other side. Left hand on the right knee. Right hand reaches back on the chair at some place. Gaze to the right. Inhale to lift. Exhale, turn the right shoulder a little or a lot, and use the left hand pressing on the leg to hold space. Keep breathing. And then inhale, lift, exhale. See if you can reposition the hand and twist a bit more. But if you can't, stay where you are and just imagine that you did. Breathing in through the nose and out. And inhale, come back to center. Let the hands relax. Give the body a moment here to just reset. Inhale the arms up. Take your gaze up. Look at your palms. Exhale, bring the arms down to heart center. So nice. So let's go through one more set of practices, and that's moving all of the joints. So we're going to start, excuse me, with the arms and the hands and the wrists and shoulders. So take the arms out in front, make a fist, and roll the wrist in and roll the wrist out. Breathing as you do, roll them in and roll them out. Open the hands as if you're flicking water. Just move those fingers in and out. And then make that fist again, and let's do the elbows. Big circles in with the elbows and then out. Keep the shoulders still, in with the elbows and out. Extending the arms. Let's take the hands And press the palms toward the body. Spread the fingers wide, close the fingers. Take the hands up, pressing away from the body. Spread the fingers wide and close the fingers. Take the hands now, put them on the shoulders. Sit up nice and tall. And we're just going to roll the shoulders forward. So as you're inhaling, the wrists are on the shoulders and the elbows are coming together. Inhale, bring them together. Exhale, take the arms back. Inhale, bring the elbows together and take the arms back. Come to neutral and let's switch. This time, we're going to go the opposite direction. So we're sweeping down as we bring the elbows in and then opening, exhale. Down and breathing in, bringing the elbows together and open and exhale. One more time. In on the inhale, open on the exhale. So nice. Release the arms, give them a little shake, roll the shoulders. Let's work with our neck now. Drop the chin down to the chest. Just let the head be heavy. If you'd like a bigger stretch in the neck, you could interlace the fingers and gently put some pressure on the neck, but not too much. And then release. Roll the left ear over the left shoulder. Breathing here, keeping that nice tall spine. And then if you'd like to increase the stretch, reach the left arm up. Drape it over the head and just allow the weight to fall on the neck. Gentle pressure here. Inhale back to center and bring the head, and then exhale down. And then the same thing, drop the chin to the chest. Roll the right ear over the right shoulder. And then inhale, reach the arm up and drape it over the head if you'd like to increase the stretch. Breathing here, and as you're doing this, you may find one side's very tight. In your own practice, feel free to stay there for a while. Just keep moving the breath though. Inhale, bring the arm up and the head to center as you exhale the arm down. Let's move now to the legs. So take your hands, place them on the chair to give you a little support to grip. Extend the right leg out. Now you could lift the leg quite high or you could keep it lower. But when you extend the leg out, we're just going to work with the ankle. So first with the feet, flex. Point the toes and then flex the foot. Pointing the toes, flexing the foot. Now roll the ankle in. Keep that nice tall spine. Roll the ankle out. You might hear some clicking and popping, that's okay. Flex the foot one more time and point the foot. Release the leg down to the mat and extend the left leg now. Pointing the toes and flexing the foot. Pointing the toes, flexing the foot, roll the ankle in. I always get sort of tickled when I do this because I realize that my left foot doesn't know what to do. And then roll the ankle out. We all have one side that just doesn't know what to do. And for me, it's my left side. It's like, I don't know what we're doing, but it's okay. I'm teaching it. And then exhale, lower that down. We're going to stand up now. And you could simply move your chair or just come to the side. I'm going to turn the chair so that we can have it here for balance sake. And we're going to do the same thing with the knees, doing a little rotation with the knees. So the feet are 2 fist distance apart and the hands on the hip. And just let the weight go into the left leg first. And just bring the knee up and circle the leg. But think about moving from the knee here. So you have to really keep the hip still and think about the knee, circling the knee. And then extend the knee, bend the knee up as far as you can, extend again. Release that, and again, switch sides. I love that yoga has us balance everything out. What we do on one side, we do on the other. And then find your foot flat on the ground, put the weight in the right foot, lift the leg at a 90-degree angle, and make circles with the knee. It's so weird, I know. It's hard to think about it without moving the hip or the ankle, but just give it a try. And then switch and go the opposite direction. And then extend the leg and bring the knee up as far as you can. Extend the leg and bring the knee up as far as you can, and then relax that down. So the next thing that we're going to do is move our hips and our waist. And so just bring the feet 2 fist distance apart, and we're literally going to circle the hips. So again, think about bending here and going forward. You could use the hand on the chair, and then I just want you to bring the hip over to the left and then over to the right. And keep going. We're just going side to side here at first. Notice how that feels in your hamstrings. And then make your way up, and we're going to do some circles here. So send your bottom behind you and then bring your pelvis forward. If you need the chair for balance, use that or the wall. Breathing as you move. And then come back to center, bend forward a bit, and we're going to go with the other side. Take your hip over to the right and then send your bottom back, circling around, bringing the pelvis forward. Just moving everything. And come back to center. We'll take a seat in the chair and we'll wrap things up. So that was not a strenuous practice. It was a lot of easy and basic stuff, but even though it's easy and basic, you can work quite hard. And even for me, and I've been practicing for about 5 years, some of those movements are more challenging than some of the fancy poses that we do. So I encourage you to move your body every day. I encourage you to move your spine in all directions every day. Flexion and extension, and also laterally side to side. I encourage you to move all of your joints every day. Get the blood flowing, focus on your breath. Just allow your body to be nourished by that small moment in time that you take to practice. And if you have not ever practiced yoga, there are so many helpful ways, so many ways that it's helpful to you. So I encourage you to find a great teacher. Find someone who can work with you individually, even if your needs are specific, and make that part of your everyday plan to move your body. Thank you so much for joining me in practice. I just like to ask you to find a place to sit up nice and tall on your chair. Take the hands back to the same place you started before, and for a moment, close your eyes if you can. If you need to keep them open for balance, just find a focal point. And just notice how your body feels. And remember that this is available to you. This practice is individual, and you can come back here anytime you like. Let's close with an Om together, bringing the hands to heart center. Inhale. Om. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this wonderful cause. I wish you all the best. The divine love and light in me sees and honors the divine love and light in you. Shanti.